Alright, so before last week, I had never bought or sold a watch in my entire life. And I dived in headfirst buying a load of watches to resell for profit. In this video, we're going to dive into exactly how much I made, whether it was worth it, what I recommend for anyone starting out, the best watches. Now, I chose to sell these watches on VINTED, which is a fairly new platform when it comes to watch selling, but to my surprise, it was absolutely brilliant. So let's dive into what I actually bought for this challenge. So this is actually kind of part 2 to another video which I made where I bought the watches, tried to authenticate some of them, but a lot of the main content from that challenge is going to be in this video, and I'm going to run through a lot of it again. So feel free to go and watch that. It's my last video, but you're going to find most of the information here. So when it came to buying the watches, I kind of started on the low end. I didn't want to dive in at the deep end, knowing absolutely nothing about the watch market as a whole, and start wasting money on things that either weren't profitable, they weren't authentic, they were broken, there was no market for them. I wanted to try and avoid as many of those issues as possible, so I went with some kind of low-end brands to start with. I went with Citizen and Seiko, and I bought a few Citizens and a Seiko, as you can see here. Quite nice watches. I got them for pretty good prices as well, as you can see, and my first sale was actually on this Citizen Eco Drive. This was the only sale I made in the last episode. Bought it for around 35 quid and sold it for around 85, so really nice profit there. It was a good start and it kind of gave me that proof of concept to push on through the challenge. I bought a few other Citizens, including this nice one with a box. I also had this quartz one which I just paid £10 for. To be fair, I don't know if this was a great buy, like it really isn't selling very well at all, but that was the whole point. I just wanted to get some cheap watches in that I could learn from. However, I wasn't really satisfied with the profit margins in Citizen. Because they're kind of cheap watch, it also means they don't sell for much. So the opportunity to make loads of money just isn't there as much as it is with your more high-end watches. So I added a new brand into the mix and I went with Tissot. And I immediately got my hands on 2 Tissots. I got this Tissot PRC with the mother of pearl dial and the diamond bezel. Really nice watch. It was 70 quid. I really thought I could push a lot of money for this. I got offered £150 at the jewelers for it. I was like, get this on eBay, it's gonna fly out. And in reality, it didn't. So what I ended up doing was putting that watch on a 99p starting bid on eBay and just let it sit for a while. While that watch was bidding up on eBay, I also found a Tissot PRX with the Tiffany dial, which was really nice, good condition with the box and everything, and I got that for like 110 quid. As soon as that came, I listed it on eBay and VINTED. It sold on eBay for 199, and the good thing about eBay now is there's no fees as a seller, so that was brilliant. I got like 80 quid profit there all in after all my expenses, so I really couldn't complain. And so just after the PRX sold, it was the final day on the bids on the Tissot PRC, and I'm not joking, going into the final 24 hours, the bid was on £4. I was devastated. I really thought this watch was worth a lot more. I mean, I was offered 150 quid from the jewelers. I was like, I'm wishing I took that. Luckily, in the last few hours, it really started to pick up and it got to 100 quid, which I wasn't mad about, but I wasn't over the moon with. At least I got some experience with bidding watches on eBay, but at the same time, I literally could have got more profit if I just took it into the jewelers in town. And it was at this point I wanted to move into some of the higher end watches. I knew that was where the money was, so I bought this Tag and this Omega from the same seller, and I paid some really good prices. As you can see, I'd say I got them for steals and listed them up, and they were both immediately getting interest, offers, etc., but most of them were low balls. However, after about 3 days of listing, an offer came through at £719 on the Tag. Now, it was listed for £719. I think I bought it for around £508 all in. So I was like, do you know what? I'm going to take that. It's over £200 profit in the bank. Let's take it. They paid, sent it out. The buyer was happy. Absolutely brilliant. My first sale on a more high-end watch. I was also getting offers on the Omega. The highest offer I had was around 520 quid. It was listed for 699 and I bought it for low 400s. So I could have taken it, but I decided to sit on it for a while, and I'm in fact still sitting on the Omega right now. So a few days later, and I'm editing the video, I actually decided to take an offer at 535 and sell the Omega. I just wanted more money in the bank to reinvest in more watches, and it was still like 100 quid profit, so I couldn't complain. But with the confidence of having sold 3 of my 4 higher end watches, I'm including the Tissots in the higher end, I was like, do you know what? I'm going to go back to buying. So I was constantly checking the market, and then this came up. Guys, I was literally just making some food, but I had to flick the camera on. I just bought a box Tag Carrera for 220 quid or something. If this is authentic, it's over £1,000, but I have got some concerns with it. I really checked photos as hard as I could before, and the guy said it is, but you know when something just feels too good to be true? I think this could be one of them. I'm gonna buy it, and if it's fake, then we'll send a return. And yeah, the watch came in, I was excited, I unboxed it, and something just felt off. The watch is here, it came in the full box and everything. It's a really nice watch in all honesty, like the condition and everything was just fantastic. But I really closely inspected it based on some photos I found on the internet, and there was just a few things that weren't right. Like the dials on the outside were just weirdly long, and looking closely at the automatic movement on the inside, there was just some things that weren't right. So already being pretty confident it was a fake, I took it into one of the pawnbrokers in town, and he said he'd had one of these in last week and it was just too light. That's what he said. He said it wasn't heavy enough, and I kind of knew this when I got it out the box. It just didn't feel right to me. But yeah, it was a shame, it's fake, so that will be going back to the sender. I mean, honestly, I think I was a bit ambitious thinking I could get like a 1.5 gram watch for 200. I mean, I guess it does happen every now and again, but it's a pretty slim chance, isn't it? I think sticking to deals that aren't out of this world and crazy is probably your best bet. Anyway, I kind of kept on that tag theme. I'd already sold a tag, I knew the tags were selling well, and I bought 2 more tags. Both of them weren't automatic ones like the Carreras that I previously bought. They were quartz versions, but I got them for really cheap, like £200, £250 for a Formula 1 and a 1500 I think it was. So both of those watches are on the way. I still haven't got them in my hand yet, but I felt like I gained enough knowledge and had enough experience in selling now that I could make this follow-up video. With some good sales in the bank, I think it's time to talk about our overall profit. Alright, so the results are in, kind of, because I'm still going to continue doing vintage watch reselling. It's been going really well, I'm happy with the results, I'm gaining more and more knowledge and more understanding about what watches to pick up, etc. So this definitely isn't the end of my vintage watch reselling journey, but it's the end of the 1 week challenge. So from the watches that we bought and sold this week, we are in a profit of £349.40, which I'm really happy with for a first week. Bearing in mind I've still got all of these watches you can see here still in stock and ready to be sold. That's more profit going to roll in by the time the Omega's sold, more of the tags, etc. That'll be well up of the £700, £800 mark. And I've already done the work in buying them and sourcing them. So £349 profit in the bank right now, more to follow, and I am happy with that. If you want to get involved in vintage watch reselling, I would definitely recommend it. I think it's a decent little side hustle. Be careful obviously what you're buying, because there are fakes out there. I've literally proved that fakes are about, but that's not to say that it's not a good side hustle. Alright guys, before we finish this one off, I'm sure you're wondering how I get all these bang steals on Vinted, etc. If you're a regular watcher of the channel, you'll know that a lot of my content revolves around shoes, clothing, buying it for profit on Vinted. Anyway, over the last month, I've worked tirelessly creating the best custom Vinted monitor on the market. If you don't know what a Vinted monitor is, then it's a software that monitors Vinted. You're able to pick up steals before they even land on the market. You can create your own custom filters. You can auto buy items. It's got a 1/1,000,000th of a second refresh rate. Anyway, it's pretty crazy, and it's a massive advantage if you're looking to resell from Vinted. So if you want to check that out, it's the top link in the description. I'll put a code now. If you watch this video, I appreciate it. You can get some money off your first month. Here's the code. Thank you very much.
Increase my profits by 1000%. It's helped me so much.
The best vintage monitor on the market right now with the fastest refresh time physically possible.